I've been channeling a lot of numbers lately. A lot. And when that starts happening for me, what that means is I'm getting timelines. They're telling me that I'm getting specific downloads about when things are happening. So, what's happening in the next 48 hours? I just filmed before this one talking about what's happening before summer is here, what's happening during, like after summer. But now, what's happening in 48 hours? Let's see what is happening and coming your way in 48 hours. This is the spread. Let's do this. Wow, okay. A lot of self-growth. A lot of self-growth is coming in the next 48 hours. The next 48 hours is about you. Okay, the other reading about the summertime, that was a love reading. This is about you. 1000%. And nobody else. Alright? This is what's happening in the next 48 hours. And it's gonna be a roller coaster, but not. I don't want you to be scared. There's nothing to be scared of. This is for your highest good. And I promise you, really all that's going to happen is your patience is going to be tested. There's a lot of times in life, in the past, that you would let people walk all over you because the reason people considered you to be a people pleaser was really because you didn't want trauma. You wanted things to be okay. You grew up having to basically be a people pleaser for safety. And also wanting to always just fix things because you wished you had somebody that would have done that for you. So therefore you heal yourself by being that for other people. In recent times, you've changed so much. The self-love, the self-composure that you hold is amazing. And you really haven't been tested lately by spirit or by the universe. You know, they've been gliding, they've been flowing, and that's great. And that's not stopping. But spirit is about to throw some things at you that are just going to test your patience and show you how much willpower and composure and leveling up you have done to show you that no matter what life throws at you, you have control of a situation and how the energy dictates. Okay? So, let's get into the cards. Ace of Wands, that's feeling inspired and enthusiastic. Ace of Swords in reverse, so that's trouble focusing and seeking new perspectives. And the Seven of Swords in reverse, unwilling to take a stand. Right? So we're splitting energy, and then we're going to go into these right here. Okay? So, because this is how you feel currently. Currently, you definitely are feeling really inspired. Like, you know what you want to do. You know the forward movements you're making. You got plans. And you're enacting those plans, but something feels hazy. It's like you go from one moment having all this energy throughout the day and things are flowing and you're feeling good. And then out of nowhere, like this fog comes over and you're just kind of like, why do I feel like, not weird, but not here either. It's because literally your body's catching up to this new timeline. Okay? You're doing basically like 200 years worth of downloads, of upgrading in the span of like a year. And right now, especially right now, it's like when you're about to be done finishing downloading a game and right at the end, it's like goes really fast, but all the way up till maybe like 80%, it was going slow, but then it gets to 80% and then the rest, it goes haywire fast. Yeah. So, that Seven of Swords, unwilling to take a stand. This energy, you haven't been tested in a long time with somebody trying to belittle you or take advantage of you or overspeak you. And in this next 48 hours, you're going to have some people that just come your way and try to do that. It could be simple as a salesperson talking to you on the phone, your own parent, possibly a friend. You might go to Walmart. Something happened with a cashier. Something. There's gonna be at least like 2 or 3 events that happen in the next 48 hours that are, remember, all about showing you the growth that you have done. In the past, you would have subdued to the weakness of not standing up for yourself. And in these situations, you're going to stand up for yourself. Or in the past, you would have for so long not stood up for yourself that when you finally did, it would be dramatic. And it would be this loud and eye-rolling thing for people. This time, going forward, willpower, go-getter attitude, self-composure. Trickled up with what? Sympathy for both parties, for both sides of the situation. Anybody that tries to hurt you, my friend, is a hurt person. We don't give people excuses here. What do? We give them understandings, because that's the only way forward. The only way forward. You got to put people in their place, but in a humble way. In a way that's like, hey, if the ball was flipped, if the coin was flipped, I would want you to put me in my place. And people feel that from you. And that's why they take it from you. Because you're like, damn, there's something about your energy that's like, no, this person's serious. Like, this person, like, if they're fucked up, like, if they're doing something fucked up, whatever, they own up to it. Something in your energy is like, I can't bullshit this person. People might even just go from like looking at you to like looking down or looking away instead of actually like expressing or saying anything to you. And you notice that these are talker type of people, but they can only talk so long to you before they just go away. And it's because your energy is so bright. High vibrational is so bright. High vibrational frequencies that don't match, pushed away. So, then we have this. 5 of coins in reverse. Having financial stability, a happy home, making everything happen for you, not to you, and everything happening for a reason. 3 of swords up hand. That's resilience. That's faith after turmoil. That's going through a lot, okay? A lot. And then we have the emperor up hand, the strength of the willpower, of your go-getter attitude, of your composure, of honoring your divine masculine within all of us. And we all have divine masculine and divine feminine. It has nothing to do with gender. Your masculine, again, I'm going to say it, go-getter attitude, self-composure, and willpower. And your divine feminine, your nurture, your compassion, your sympathy. Okay? And then we have that staying focused, and practice makes perfect, and working hard with the 8 of coins. What does this mean? My friend, you're never going backwards. You have financial security more than you ever have in your entire life, and you're never going backwards. This is here to stay, and not even stay, upgrade. They want you to throw away any worry about money ever again. Okay? This 3 of swords, this is how I knew for a fact, okay? I don't want you to be scared by this 3 of swords. Cards mean much, much more than the sentence or words. It's all based off of each other and the energy and the frequency. This hard resilience, going through something. This is going to be you battling the ego versus your intuition in this moments where you're like, this motherfucker's really trying me, aren't they? And in the past, you would have, okay, you're not going to do this time. You're going to really think about it. And you'll be like, no, I'm not just going to make a decision right now because you put me on the spot. No, I'm not going to take that extra shift. No, I'm not going to let you talk to me that way. Remember, you're a human being. With that, practice makes perfect. Everything doesn't happen overnight. And you stop saying the word hope and you say you are. I am secure. I am willpower. I am self-composure. I am abundance. I am the divine emperor. This situation, when you're going through it, you're going to feel that haziness. You're going to feel that intensity, and you're going to wonder why, and you're going to need to fight the feeling of believing like you've thrown yourself back into an old timeline, because, my friend, you're not far from it, actually. You propelled yourself to a whole other timeline by choosing yourself, by standing up for your inner teenager, specifically is what they want me to say. They're telling me you've hit some check marks when it came to your inner child work. I'm giving you much admiration for that. And they're telling me to tell you to not stop doing that, but start migrating. What's happening now is that your inner teenager, you're standing up for that one. After this situation, of course, we are humans and we are not perfect. So if you get a little bit of a tone in your voice, or you don't exactly handle to a T the way you mean to in these situations, don't harp on yourself and make yourself feel like you fucked up the whole thing, because you didn't. Remember that 8 of coins. Practice makes perfect. Things doesn't happen overnight. This is like a failed test. It's been a long time since somebody has challenged your patience. Like really, really challenged your patience. Every day we have that, but I'm talking about like blatant disrespect or gaslighting or trying to force you into making a decision on the spot. The way you're going to handle this, and afterwards what you're going to feel, is that divine emperor. And there's going to be that haziness you're feeling right now with this Ace of Swords, and the trouble focusing, and how you've been seeking like the new perspectives. After this 48 hours and you go through those experiences, a solidification of that haziness going away, of you being able to center focus and stay center focused, and continuing to learn and grow with this connection of you with your divine self, this connection with you in your highest timelines, connection with you in your willpower, your self-love, the connection of you and your inner teenager. This is all happening for you, not to you. And again, your finances. You remember, my readings are very specific, guys. Okay? So if you're resonating with all of this, you're good. Your money's not going anywhere. You're never going to put yourself in that position again. You work too hard. You're too high vibrational. Never too high vibrational, but you know what I'm trying to say. You are good. You needed to experience that time of your life so that going on, you would know how to handle money. And you would be grateful and be a person who will use it for the right reasons. Let's get into the oracle cards. Okay, so the tarot was in the next 48 hours, the outside world. What's going to go on with that and your upgrade? This is internal. The oracles, this is internal. Okay? These are the battles, these are the things you're overcoming in the next 40 hours when it comes to your self-love and acceptance. So I saved your text and messages. Winter. Irreconcilable differences. Online in reverse. Ghosted up hand. Sometimes I stay awake at night thinking about you. I still feel the pain. Wow, inwards. And you broke my heart outwards. This is what this means. Yeah, this is your inner teenager talking to you. I save your texts and messages. You might, so you're going to have like a lot of like, you know, like Facebook memories, Snapchat memories, Instagram memories. A lot of that type of stuff's going to be coming front face. You're going to see things you wrote out when you were a younger self and be like, wow, I've really grown. Or see pictures of you and be like, wow, I really really have truly grown from that time. See, this winter you learned a lot more about self-love, about truly picking yourself, being your own healthy partner. Your inner teenager still needs to feel a little accepted by you, though. There's nothing wrong with you being who exactly you are. Exactly who you are. You have to separate from the need to believe that you're gross, doing something wrong, by loving. This is, it's different for a lot of people, but for a very, very big portion of you, it's about knowing that it's okay to love who you love, as long as everything is consensual. Yada yada, right? So there is a part of you where either it could be who you're attracted to, the way you feel about the way you look within yourself, being comfortable with liking what you like, knowing that it's not a choice who you fall in and out of love with, forgiving yourself for breaking other people's hearts in the past, just like your heart has been broken before and you've forgiven those people. It's more than one thing with the collectives, but it's an overall energy intensity of forgiving yourself for, no matter how cheesy it sounds, it's forgiving yourself for at one point in life hating yourself and making you feel like there's something simply wrong by you existing. There's fucking nothing wrong with you being who you are. It does not hurt anybody. It raises the vibration of the world. See, the online in reverse, you don't really care anymore about checking in with other people. You might even go on a fucking like a deleting spree of like your friends list, people that you're like, why am I even connected? I don't care what's going on with this person. There's gonna be this overwhelmingness of like picking yourself and just clearing out what does not serve in more than one way. You're gonna get this inspiration to like start rearranging your home or take out your wardrobe, clearing out a lot. With this ghosted, I sense, well, it's two things, because this is a reading all about you, but somebody is definitely messaging you in this next 48 hours. This is mixed though. Not everybody is this going to be a romantic gesture. For some of this is a friend. That's like, that one's really 50-50. Some of you in the next 40 hours are getting reached out by somebody who you feel like maybe like they might have ghosted you, or there's been a lot of time without talking, and you've both just kind of been figuring and going throughout life. Neither of one, there was no real reason. So yeah, but also with this ghosting card, I'm also getting is that like lost, fragmented soul. This next 40 hours, your inner child you might even have like a really intense dream. And that's another thing with sometimes I stay awake at night thinking about you. You've been having trouble sleeping. You might be getting really tired during the day, and then at nighttime you're staying up and you're not really sure why. Spirits needed you to like, you always like just go. You go to work, you do what you got to do for your living arrangements. If you have children, taking care of your animals, yada yada, and then you go to bed, and then you don't allow yourself to have time to really sit down and think about what's going on in here, right? You got too many other things to worry about. So Spirit, believe it or not, has been making it to where you have time. And I know you're like, well, fuck off, I need to sleep and stuff. Everything's happening for you, not to you. You're staying awake at night thinking about all of this stuff because it's this rushing volcano effect. The candy's in your hands. You've gone from being It's interesting. I just keep seeing like Fred and George Weasley. Okay, so you went from being like having your own. You went from having like just this little foundation of something, a little dream, a little spark, a little hobby, and now it's a full-blown store. Now it's your complete story. Taking ownership and control back of your life. Not living on autopilot anymore. That's why you've been awake. A lot of it has to do with channeling within with like the divine counterpart and such as well, because of the tingle partner effect. But in this exact moment, the only thing that matters is you, my friend. And you're part of this process. You see, your inner child, the only card that was flipped inwards was the I still feel the pain. See, I still feel the pain. See, that's your inner child and your inner teenager. But this next 48 hours, when you're up and just thinking about a lot, you allow yourself to cry, allow yourself to scream and appropriately lash out these emotions, meaning like working out, running, yada yada. You understand? Crying into a pillow. You need to allow all of those emotions out. We have these emotions for a reason. And when you try to mute one, it fucks up your literal hormones. And it really like actually fucks up the way your mind and your chemistry and everything works. You have to allow yourself to, in the appropriate situations, cry. In the appropriate settings, know when and when not to say something. You see, at this current moment, and until this connects to what you're, so you don't even realize it, but what's going to happen in your 3D world with people is going to correlate directly back to actually standing up for your inner teenager and inner child. In the moment of doing it, and afterwards, you're gonna be like, "Why did I do that?" You know, like I'm usually just a person that lets things go, and then you're gonna have time, and you're gonna cool down, and then you're gonna connect the dots. Holy shit! I just stood up for my inner teenager, and nothing bad happened. It's not the end of the world. I'm safe. Nobody's hurt me. Nobody took away my happiness. Because I'm defending myself in a respectable and approachable way. I'm not crazy for knowing I'm allowed to stand up for myself. And you broke my heart outwards. I'm telling you, you're really repairing a lot with that inner teenager in this next 48 hours. You're going to have a lot of rushing emotions, and that's just channeling back into that Three of Swords energy that I don't want you to be scared of. You asked for the next upgrade. You're asking for the wish fulfillment partner. You're asking for the new career, the highest timeline. This is the cause and effect for all of that. This is the work. This all has to come before all of that is in fruition. This is here, this is now. This next 48 hours is going to be triggering you. Why? It's going to be triggering you out in the world and internally. Why? For your highest timeline. To shed out what no longer serves in more way than one. All right? All right. I'm proud of you. You got this. Let's get it.